crowd in the town's history to Oriole Park, well over 17,000 packed into the specially extended stadium. And after 2 hours of pre-match entertainment, the big crowd was in good voice to welcome both teams for what many will look back on as Dundalk's finest hour. Celtic were the first to show their teeth, and Dundalk got an early indication of the potential threat. Bobby Lennox, the only survivor of the Celtic side that won the European Cup in 1967, ended this move by hitting the bar. But anyone who came expecting to sample the flowing skills of the former European champions would have left disappointed. Celtic 1979 don't really compare with the team that won the European Cup, and in any case it wasn't that kind of match. But Dundalk had given Celtic a severe fright at Parkhead a fortnight previously, and with that firmly in mind, the Scots had come with a straightforward philosophy. What we have, we hold. The Celtic threat became more ominous after half-time. Murdo MacLeod goes close here. But Dundalk were by no means overawed, and they matched Celtic's full-time professionals in many respects, even if their goal was the more under threat. That was MacLeod once more. Celtic did manage to get the ball in the net. Danny McGrain's free kick reached Roddy MacDonald at the far post, but the Danish referee ruled it out for offside. So 0-0 was the final score, and that put Celtic through 3-2 on aggregate. Close enough to have given them a fright. But what about Dundalk's feelings? Well, their captain is Dermot Keeley. Dermot, that eye's just about all you've got to show for it. What are the feelings after that match?
A little disappointment and great feeling of pride. I think that's the way we feel.
Was it a physical match?
Let's say there was no quarter given or asked. No, they're not dirty. They are tough. And I think we're a tough side ourselves. This just, it's one of those things. It happens. There was no malice intended, I don't think.
You ran them close enough coming up to half-time. There were about 3 chances that could have gone in, and then Tommy McConville right near the end there.
Yeah, I think you'd be wrong to say, or we'd be wrong to say that we dictated the game. We didn't. With their superior fitness and full-time training, they had to dictate the pace of the game. But I think we counted well, and we had a better chance. They hadn't got it. I don't think they had a real chance in the game. I mean, maybe I'm biased, but I mean, I can't remember a clear-cut chance. We caught them offside an awful lot, like, you know, which proves that maybe we're cleverer than that. With a bit of full-time training, maybe, like. I think that was the only difference, this extra pace that we haven't got, and we can't have 2 nights a week training, obviously.
I don't think there'd be too many would deny that you did the League of Ireland proud of those 2 ties in Glasgow and here. But how does that leave you feeling after it?
If we could play like that every week, like we'd win the league, wouldn't we? But I think it's nice for League of Ireland. We don't get enough publicity, probably. We get a lot of knocks. People are inclined to knock us and knock the standard. And I think if people, you see a great crowd tonight, and it builds up the game and people play well. Now, if people will come back and give it a chance, I think League of Ireland has something to offer. I think Rovers, you know, they've started, they're going full time, and it could be a new age. I think we're at a crossroads, it go either way. But I think I'd like to say, like, come out and give us a chance.
And what kind of lessons have you learned from those 2 matches that you can show to the fans who do come back?
I think the main lesson to be learned there is that to play at a top level, you've got to do things much more quickly than we do. They don't allow you time to look up and have a look around and play a ball. The minute you get a ball, you have to know what you want to do with it and do it quickly. And I think the few times we get caught in possession, and it looks bad, but I mean, we're just not used to it. Now, League of Ireland is supposed to be physical and people get in quick, but that's unbelievable. Like, you know, you don't get a chance, and I think that's the main thing. And they keep the game, like, once they get pressure on, they don't stop. Like, they keep piling it on, and that's another lesson. I don't think there's too much to learn technically, because they didn't show much like technical superiority.
But nonetheless, you'll hardly forget those 2 matches, and particularly.
Sure, but for all of us, I mean, we are only part-timers, and this, for most of us, is a climax. I mean, maybe we win the league again next year, maybe we'll go to Europe, but the chances of drawing the likes of Celtic, you know, before you go out of the competition are remote. So I suppose like this will be an abiding memory, something to tell the grandchildren about. I'll have me on first.
Well, Danny, I suppose when you heard the draw, you didn't think it would have been quite as tough.
No, George, not really. Dundalk, I think, really surprised us as well as the supporters, because, as you say, when the draw was made, we thought, obviously, that would be us into the next round. But I just found out over at Parkhead, they were a very well organised team. It surprised us over there. And even tonight, it surprised us, the way they were organised at the back. And they played the offside trap very well.
So I suppose 0-0 is satisfactory out of a match like that?
0-0 was a great result for us. I mean, we're through to the next round. And I can only say Dundalk are a very good team. And I only wish them good luck next year. Hope they draw them again next year.
What about Celtic now? That's just 3 matches away from another European Cup if it should work out that way. Is it really on this season?
Well, as you say, we're into the last 8. Anything can happen now. We drew Albania, went to Albania in the first round, Ireland now. Well, that's 2 supposedly easy rounds. And every game in the European Cup is hard. And they've been on harder than tonight.
But for the Irish fans of Glasgow Celtic, do you think you might have something to show for them at the end of the season?
Well, I hope so. I mean, the European Cup is a big one, obviously. But we've got to look at the home front as well. It'd be nice to end up European Cup winners again. And I only hope that some games are easier than what they were tonight.